design had gotten a heavily externally and internally modified HTTP 1334, and he had told me about all this just recently. I had kind of left at him about its external appearance, but what got him to speak up about it was the fact that he felt pretty worn down. This is what he typed down on the gaming rig his old man gave him. Entry. Number 1. Harkness here. So I had very recently bought a gaming computer off of an online auction, but this gaming tower looks more like the P2 1334 model. Though it doesn't look like any P2 1334 I've ever seen in my life. It looks like it's been heavily modified to fit the standard of a gaming tower. Even saw it had an AMD Ryzen 9 NVIDIA 1030 graphics card and 32 gigs of RAM, and judging by the amount of storage, it appears to be a 6 terabit solid-state drive also. It didn't appear in its normal black color. It looked like it was themed, more particularly that of a crossover of Neopets and Toontown Online in that game's art still seen on the side and art. The monitor and sound system also appeared to have the same theme all the way around. I kind of was bothered by the fact. But hey, you get what you buy, I suppose, and I had bought these for about $1,200, $1,250 combined. Went to message my bud Marcus Wayne, and here's how the convo went. Me, yo dude, check this shit out, asterisk some images of the setup, asterisk Marcus, asterisk shirks, asterisk dude, what is this kitty thing? THAT is what you got. XD me, I'll screw off. It was delivered to me like that, and besides, you would not believe the hardware specs this thing has. Marcus, lem guess, 32 gigs, 4 gigs of RAM. Me, no, 6 terabits, 32 gigs of RAM, along with NVIDIA 1030 and an AMD Ryzen 9. Marcus, wait, what the hell? THATMUCHFORTOWERLIKETHAT. Me, yeah, and this thing costed me around $1,200 or so. Marcus, and it was delivered to you like that, or are you trippin'? Me, it was delivered to me like this, ain't trippin'. Marcus, sweet mother of okay, so what are you gonna do with it? Me, just gonna hook this thing up. Though I am not sure if it even works with these hardware specs. Marcus, okay, see ya. Me, see young man. So after that, I had set this computer up and booted it up for the first time. I noticed that even though I had to set up my account onto this thing, it had about all of the Toontown Online private servers, and at the time free, for Neopets games. So that's why it had that theme on the tower. I said, slightly confused on why 3 of the Neopets mobile games are on this machine, along with a client for the site itself. Shrugging the confusion off, I looked at what I could do aside from those. Now this is an irrelevant note, but I also saw that the desktop theme is also on the lines of that whole set. Couldn't help but to think that someone had been looking into my embarrassing secrets. Now, while it did let me install Chrome, Discord and Steam, I can't help but to suspect that I was either stalked, or it's just pure coincidence. It does not seem to be fucking funny if it was the former. Entry. Number 2. Hey journal, it's Harkness again. I know that I should not be up late at night, but I have big fucking news, dude. So yesterday, when I was using Discord shitposting in some servers I was on, that was until one thing just happened because a computer should not do that without modifying Windows. It opened up Chrome on its own, on r/Toontown. What the fuck? Even for a punk rock biker like myself, I have chills, seeing that in my memory, felt a bit spooked even. After I closed the browser, I began to notice that one of the Toontown private servers, Toontown Written I'm guessing it's called, was highlighted for me. What made me reluctant to open it was the fact that it was already on the PC by default, when that should not be the case. Gonna create an account for that one if I don. Wait, what's this? A text file? Could this have any login info? I'll check in once I get over this mindfuck. Entry. Number 3. Harkness once again, so I just opened the text file. To say there was one log in info was an overstatement. Understatement? Apparently it has lots of it, one for each server and only one for Neopets. What was this guy trying to hide from me? Okay, so I tried the login for Written and found out that not only does it work, it also sent me into the game without issue. I can only be surprised that it even let me in for this long. Well damn! I said out loud to myself as soon as I saw the tunes that I made from when it was in open beta. How long has it been since I last logged in? I asked myself, though I was sort of confused. Wouldn't I been banned for inappropriate behavior? Wait a minute, wasn't I banned during the time for inappropriate behavior? I obviously asked myself, why would it now log my ass in after it has been this long? Sigh, just another damn thing in the strangest ass events that I encountered, haha. I said as I picked one of the tunes, a blue cat with that fancy fedora hat I named Jason. I let out a chuckle as I recently remembered giving this tune a song to associate him with, notably a favorite of mine from Rock Band. What amused me further was that the game had made reference to that while it was loading. After that it returned to the regular music from Toontown Online, though the title screen and music was the same from TTR, from what I was told. Entry number 4. Continuing on from the last entry an hour ago, I checked what I had on Jason. He was maxed out on Left, the hit points on Toontown for those not in the know. He also had the gag tracks I set for him, which was maxed out as well. I smiled seeing that I still had him maxed as much as I could be allowed to. While I was on there, I heard some rumors about that version of Toontown Online that Tressa had played about that peace treaty ending after she had told a friend or two on this private server. Also heard that there was some neopets coming in and out of that particular Toontown Online. Shrugging it off, I logged out of there after taking care of some cogs and defeating the CJ after I got bored and logged into the neopets site. Saw that they were doing a more mobile-friendly approach with how it works. I was not told about this recent change, so it surprised me to see it like this, and I saw my neopets. They were as I left them, outside of the dying hunger. Also my neopets were as follows. A male brown Scorpio named Hollow_J296, a female fairy Grail named Rockin_Lewis 10, a female fairy Scorpio named Lois_Rowland22, and a male disco cat chic named simply JJ12 less than 3. As to why I had 4 neopets at the time, was because I did not know until I checked the premium page that I was able to create up to 7 neopets at one time, and considering that I was not under premium at this point, was only able to create 6 at one time, so I went ahead and created another Grail and another cat sheet with the following names, colors and gender. Name, Jen_Fairy 99, species, cat chic, color, blue, female name, Chillin 0, species, Grail, color, green, male. After that, I had fed them when I went to the soup kitchen. What can I say? I have a soft spot for these 3 specific species. What made me intrigued is what was going on while I was exploring the areas more familiar to me. While things in the images were normal at first, I saw that the tunes and cogs from Toontown Online were showing up on certain spots like Neopie Central and the Bazaar, for example. Even saw some cogs in the Virtupets space station. Wasn't the Toontown Online promotion for Neopets way back? I let out. Admittedly, I was definitely confused seeing them in here. At this time, I was not sure what was going on, but I was thinking rivalry or some sort of peaceful thing, or at the least a vacation deal or something to the equivalent. I'm not certain. Looking more of Neopia, I also saw that Lutari Island was returned to its former glory after so much time being blocked by weather. Surprised the hell out of even me seeing that the large storm had basically locked the whole island down and prevented access for all the buildings. But from what I saw, not only is the island being accessible by the Neopians, but also has tunes, cogs, and the buildings are also accessible. Entry number 5. Just thinking about why I thought it was a promotion is gonna give me a migraine, but I went to see the Fairy Queen just now. She seemed to welcome me in and saw that despite not looking like it usually, I was confused alongside the neopets that I'm with. And before I began to even ask, I'll write what she had said to me word for word. I understand that you may be confused and everything, so I'll go ahead and explain why there has been recent activity to the tunes and cogs as you saw while you were waiting out your ban from one of this Toontown private server you were on since open beta. A blue cat with a white and bluish rimmed fedora going by Jason, along with 5 other toons, which I was guessing their toons at the time, showed up at one point and said that they were looking for something or someone and saw some other toons, from what I was told was an alternate ending to Toontown Online. We the fairies, neopets, the toons and the cogs are trying to figure out a way to be accepting to each other if possible, so it may take some time to come up with a solution. I'm sorry for the inconvenience it may have shown. Wait, so the guys who own Neopets now aren't trying to promote Toontown out of spite of Disney? I thought to myself. So, from what I was told from that mutual friend's sister, if indeed true, then that should explain as to why they're here right now and interacting with the Neopets. I continued in my thoughts. If that's the case, why have I not been informed about this during the time I was temporarily banned? I asked myself and asked her about it along with having that song play during loading into the game on TTR that I do not have an answer to sadly, but they had been pretty enthusiastic about what happened before the ban occurred, to which I was also informed that the ban was false and you tried and failed to inform them that there was no inappropriate behavior in your case. She responded with, to which she had wanted to give me something as an apology gift. I received what was basically about 3 very rare items that she had, plus an extension to my bag. My jaw dropped at that point. I definitely was not expecting that, of all. She giggled quietly. Surprised you, didn't I? She asked me. Now you can go ahead and be on your way. Again I apologize for the inconvenience. I left the tower she was in, and that led to a something has happened, where I also gotten about 24k neopoints. I smirked a bit, thanks Fiora. I thought out loud. Final entry. So after my written account had gotten out of its temp ban, and once I had gotten off of Chrome, I noticed there was another version of TOE that I had not seen until now. It was in the private server. It looked like it was the original icon and still called Toontown Online. I opened it up and without having to log in, it started the game on its own, and when I saw the loading screen, it was the same logo used in online, and it definitely was the same art style it was before it had shut down. It loaded and saw that I had no other toons on here, so I made a toon that represented me in some capacity, an Amber Bear toon named Parks, and skipped the tutorial. Once in the game proper, I saw something that had me highly impressed, and I'm normally not impressed unless it was something to the extent I am about to type on here. The 6 toons that I had unwritten was here, not much of a surprise there, but I also saw that mutual sister's toon, the toons that helped her toon, along with the neopets I also gotten, leading up to today, fully modeled and textured, and Fiora was there too, as textured as Panda 3D would allow without crashing or instability issues. Ah, Harkness, I see you decided to show up at last, Katie had said. I texted the mutual friend's sister and asked her if she was seeing this right now. She is. In fact, she was the one who said that hell even brought the friend she had made and encountered when she saw her own neopets along with my own and her brother's neopets. Looking at the crowd now, I can tell that aside from my own neopets and Fiora, I saw 2 other groups of 6 neopets, with their respective paints, genders and names as well. And when I came close to the area where the HQ, library, and toon hall meet Fiora and Flitty were dead center in the plaza, a speech was held by the toon, fairy and cog boss, the CEO to be precise. And during the time that this speech was being held, I can't help but to still have this impressed look on my face. Oh shit. I thought to myself. Impressed, Harkness? Katie, Tressa asked me. Highly. I responded back, how long has it been since your encounter with a toontown that had the toons and the cogs made peace with each other? I asked her about a week, coming close to 2 weeks. She said, and the speech was about to come to a close. That's when Fiora and Flitty had to give thanks to myself and Tressa for giving the opportunity of peace and love. The credits roll, the same credits that Tressa had saw, and for me this time, it played a more Toontown appropriate, instrumental version of Right Where You Want Me to Be, by A Day to Remember. Closing notes. So after what happened, I had given Marcus a full-on explanation of this in the form of my own text file, detailing what had been going on, and he was also highly impressed by the amount of detail that went on, and theorized that the version she played must have been linked, and didn't realize that until just yesterday. I'm gonna keep this desktop and attempt to take care of it as much as I could. After Harkness told me about the events of that day, not only was I as highly impressed as him at that epilogue, I was impressed at details of the events leading up to that point in time. So yeah, that's what he had sent entirely, and he told me that he ended up meeting with Tressa at the time the speech was about to begin, and he had let me post this online as he was already comfortable sending this. This is Marcus Wayne signing out.